All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be step 7 in my steps to recovery. Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. Let's get. All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. Step 7, Narcotics Anonymous. Alcoholics Anonymous is pretty similar. Uh, this is step 7 in the 12 steps. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment, share the video. It may save somebody's life. Also, hit that notification bell so that anytime I go live or I drop a new video, you will be informed and you can jump on it. Also, you can become a member of the channel, hit that join button, or you could hit the Cash App. It's in the description. That is the best way to support the channel. So, anyways, let's get into step 7. What is step 7 and how does it help, right? So, basically, in step 7, we humbly ask God or our higher power or inspiration to remove our shortcomings. Okay. So, in working the previous 6 steps, we've come to the conclusion that we have these character defects, right? We have these shortcomings. Like, we're not, I don't want to say a normal person, a normie, right? Like, we're addicts, right? So, in working these steps, we've come to the conclusion that we have some issues that we need to work on. And ultimately, that's what the 12 steps is about. It's like, for lack of a better term, your sponsor is your therapist, right? And that's why it's really important to go to meetings and find a sponsor. Find somebody that is telling a similar story to yours. That way you can relate to this individual. You don't necessarily, and some people do it, and it's okay. If it works for you, it works for you. But for me, I had to find somebody that was, a dope dealer out there hustling and doing the meth because that was my drug of choice. So being able to relate to this person really helps in your recovery, in my opinion. Now, if there's some sponsors that are just amazing and it don't matter, but that for me, that's what worked, right? So let's do a real quick recap of the first 6 steps, and you can find them all on the playlist recovery on this channel. So you can go look for those and you can go through them. In step 1, we admitted we were powerless over our addiction and that our lives had become unmanageable. That's an unmanageable word right there. But anyways, this is the hardest step, right? Because now you are coming to the conclusion that what you're doing isn't working. Okay. So then we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Higher power, an inspiration, God, right? It don't necessarily have to be God if that's not your thing. What inspires you? Just be careful with the higher power because people will let you down. Okay. And you don't want that reservation in your program that, I'm doing this for my girlfriend or my hyena, right? And then she pisses you off and you go use. Okay. So you have to be careful with that one. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to God as we understood Him. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Now, this is where it starts to get a little more difficult, right? 4 isn't necessarily it's difficult, but 5 is where we admitted to God, ourselves, and another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. So we've written all this stuff down. Well, this is the way I did it. I wrote all this stuff down in this searching and fearless moral inventory, right? And, this is my deepest, darkest secrets, right? Like I wouldn't tell most people this stuff. And now I have to admit it. to another human being. Like that just shows the commitment that now you're committed, you're ready to do this shit, and you're ready to do it right. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. So we stop holding on, right? Because we're no longer God. There's somebody greater. There's a higher power, right? And like I said, if God isn't your thing, then whatever your higher power may be. For me, ultimately, it did end up being my thing. But when I was first working through these steps, I was not a believer. And since I've changed, you know what I mean? So then we get to step 7, which is where we currently are. And this is where the humility comes into it, right? Because, we've been out there running around using like we're the man or the woman. I'm in control. I'm handling this shit. Well, now we have to be humble. It's time for some humility in your life, basically. If you've made it this far in the steps, chances are you're on your way to success. You're having success already. Okay. So, you've made it this far. Let's see this thing through. It continues to get better. And at some point, you will be of service to others like I'm trying to be right now. Okay. I know my videos aren't the greatest when it comes to this stuff. There's probably stuff that's far more in-depth and professional, but I'm just an old recovering addict here. Sobriety date, August 9th, 2004. So yeah, I've been clean for 20 years. It worked for me. It could work for you as well. Okay. So, that's step 7. Be on the lookout. Step 8 will be coming probably in another week or so. I don't like to drop these ones too quick. There's also a video that just dropped on, let me see what the title of that one is. Understanding Children and Dynamics of the Addicted Family. That one, I think, is a really good one. It's a little different than this, but it all ties together. So be sure to check that out as well. Understanding Children and the Dynamics of the Addicted Family. And it's not just for addicts, it's for dysfunctional families, all that kind of stuff. So be sure to check that out as well. Remember, it's about humility with step 7. Work with a sponsor. I've heard of people that try to work these steps on their own without a sponsor. It's good to have that back and forth conversation with somebody that you've grown to trust at this point. And, the thing is, if you get a sponsor at Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, and you don't feel that they're living up to what you think it should be, then you can always say, hey, you know what, John, I don't want you to be my sponsor no more. I'm going to find somebody different. So you're not locked in. You're not contractually obligated. It's nothing like that. It don't cost anything. You can go to a meeting. It don't cost anything to go to a meeting. Get yourself a cup of coffee and a cigarette and listen to what's going on, because, those rooms will save your life if you give them a chance. So this one's kind of a short one, but, this stuff is really important. So be sure to check out that other video on the Children of the Addicted Family as well. If you have any ideas for something within this genre of recovery that you would like me to cover, drop a comment down below and let me know. And if I know enough about it, I'll put something together. If I don't, I'll do some research and maybe I'll put something together anyways. But either way, if you're new here, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy the video, hit that thumbs down. But either way, drop a comment and let me know, what step are you on? How's it coming along? What's working for you? What isn't working for you? This is not just for me to get the comment. Other people that are in recovery are reading these comments. And if something is working and it's a little out of the ordinary, drop it down below, because it may save somebody's life, So anyways, just remember, if you're hanging with 4 other addicts, chances are you're the 5th one. That's not where chances are that's not where you want to be. If you're ready to, join recovery, and if you've been watching it this far, I'm assuming you are, then come on over. Welcome. Life gets better on this side. Believe me, it doesn't get perfect. I'm not going to sell you that bridge in Arizona, that oceanfront property in Arizona, but it does get better. Just having a clear mind as life is coming at you makes a world of difference. So, family, fitness, and freedom are the things that allow me to get my life together, and they can help you as well. It's just a matter about making good choices and compounding those good choices. So I hope everybody's having a great week, and don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.